doesn't love a good base model? I reckon this is one of the best out there, certainly in this class. This is the entry model 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe with the new 2.5 turbo petrol engine. Well, it's not a new engine, but it's new for the Santa Fe. What I love about this is you get pretty much everything that you need for this style of vehicle. This is priced from $53,000, excluding on-road costs. I reckon that's a really reasonable price for today's market, considering the amount of gear you get with this model. You're not missing out on the design either. It looks pretty much the same as the upper spec models. The main difference are these 20-inch alloy wheels, 5-spoke instead of the black painted items on the calligraphy. But you still get plenty of black trimmings like the roof rails, window surrounds, and some black detailing around the front end with the adaptive intakes there, so they flip open when it's needed. I really like the design of this new model, except the rear end. I can't get used to the rear end. The tail lights are just too low down. It just doesn't sync up. Like, even if you look at the headlights there and you run that line all the way across the back, the tail lights should be about here where that crease line is. But as I've said before, the reason for it, even has a automatic tailgate on the entry spec model. The reason for it is the huge tailgate, and then it needs these big struts to push the tailgate up, and they need to be mounted at a certain position, and that pushes everything down. So there's no choice but the tail lights to go at the bottom. Just while we're here, excellent practicality. Look, you've even got climate vents in the third row and USB ports. There's a 12-volt socket there on the side. Little hooks so you can tie down your shopping and so on. But yeah, you've even got semi-climate control in the third row, which is awesome. Again, for a base model, I think it's such good value. I even like the non-leather seats. So this has got these tartan style seats. Nice material as well. It feels hard wearing, but still looks like a quality modern setup. And it's a sliding second row as well, so you can move that around. It's actually spring loaded, so as soon as you pull the lever down here, it starts to move forward. You don't have to yank it forward, which is actually pretty handy. That obviously helps provide access to the rear as well. You just push the button on the top and it all springs forward. Dual cup holders on the doors, bottle holders as well. And then in the front, yeah, this doesn't miss out on anything. It still has the big dual screens running across the dash. It still has the wireless phone charger pad, multiple charging ports, a big bucket underneath. And yeah, pretty much all the amenities that you need. This is a very practical, everyday family vehicle. You've got a little shelf underneath above the glove box, another shelf in there. Just start it up. I love the way that it's got separated out climate control, so you can easily just adjust the temperature, turn the aircon on or off, air recirculation as well. You've got some main menu buttons across here. You don't have to jump into this screen. It's a pretty easy screen though. It's got the grid style layout, and then the instrument cluster is just the same. You just use the toggles here on the side, on the steering wheel, and you can change what information you want to see. In terms of fuel consumption, this is averaging 9.7, but I have just done the performance testing. It was 8.6 before I started performance testing, which I think is pretty good. For a large 7-seater SUV, I think that's not bad. All right, we'll go for a quick drive and I'll show you what it's like. But mainly I just wanted to test it for performance because this is kind of the lightest weight version. It is front wheel drive, so you do have a bit of wheel spin to contend with. But other than that, it should be the quickest Santa Fe on the market right now. Going with the 2.5 gets you a 2.5 turbo petrol 4-cylinder, 206 kilowatts and 422 Newton meters. It's a little bit down on power compared with the V6, but you get a lot more torque. And the torque, or the peak torque, which is higher, is available from a wider torque span as well. I think that's more beneficial in a vehicle like this. You know, if you're in a sports car or something like that, you might want a peaky, revvy engine that sounds quite nice compared with a 7-seater SUV. But I think in an SUV like this, it's quite heavy. You want low-end torque, and it still goes just fine. Like it's quicker than the V6. The best I got out of the old V6 0 to 100 front-wheel drive was about 8.5 seconds, whereas this is even quicker. You'll see in the performance test coming up. I'll just slow down for you and show you the kind of kick down. 40 kilometers an hour, full throttle. Yeah, it actually pulls the steering wheel and tugs the steering wheel a little bit, and if you're on a less than grippy surface, you actually got a bit of wheel spin that happens. But it's good that Hyundai offers this with a four-wheel drive, with the all-wheel drive setup as well. The old V6 you could only get front-wheel drive, so it's great that Hyundai is offering a bit of versatility. The other good thing about the 2-litre 2.5 is the towing capacity is lifted from 1,650 to 2,000 kilograms braked capacity, compared with the hybrid, that is. So yeah, if you are looking to do some towing, the 2.5 is going to be the pick, because you've just got that extra capacity, but also the extra torque. 422 Newton meters is more than the hybrid 1.6. I think that offers around 370 Newton meters from memory. So yeah, this is definitely more suitable for towing heavy things. In terms of the handling, I think this is one of the best in its segment. You know, this is not a sports car, it's a crossover. It doesn't have a ladder frame chassis or anything like that, and in that regard I think it handles really well. It's rigid, it bites in the front nicely, got a bit of feedback coming through the steering. It does have kind of Hyundai steering. It's not super engaging, but it provides all the information that you need for this style of vehicle. Yeah, you can definitely have some fun in it. The chassis feels really rigid, I think, is the main thing, or rigid for this style of vehicle anyway. It just allows you to poke around the corners and things, and it doesn't feel all sloppy and floppy. And then in terms of ride comfort, this is Australian tested, and it's just, yeah, it's a nice balance between absorbent, so it can catch potholes and rough roads like this very easily, but it's still got enough bracing and stability to be enjoyable on a winding road, mountain road, or whatever. This does come with a lot of safety features, which is good, including a blind spot camera. So you hit the indicator and the side cluster there turns into a view from the camera mounted underneath the mirror, so you can see straight out to your blind spot, which is great. But it does come with some annoying features as per the regulations these days. I've got the menu for the safety systems pre-programmed into this star button. So you just hit that once. Every time you start the vehicle, hit that. It'll take you straight to this menu. You can turn the speed limit warning off. You can turn the driver attention camera off. And the lane keep assist, you just hold down the button on the steering wheel. I think all vehicles should have that. Some vehicles you've got to go into a menu as well to turn the lane keep assist off. I've got some tape over the driver monitoring camera here, which you may have noticed. That's because in Hyundai Kia models, I've noticed that even when you do turn it off, if it thinks you're distracted, like, you know, you reach across to the touch screen or yawn or even have a conversation with the person next to you, it will turn back on, and it turns the lane keep assist back on as well. So I find it's easier just to put tape over it. It does come up with a warning message when you first start the car saying your face is obstructed or whatever. You don't do anything, you don't even have to say clear, you just leave it, and that's it. It might come up another time when you're driving, like later on in the same drive session, but I find that's more tolerable than the whole system's all turning back on again. I reckon Hyundai needs to get on top of this stuff, because although the intentions are good, like it's trying to be safe, it's just annoying. Like, I don't see how it's gonna save you. I really don't. Like, if you're having a conversation, yet all the systems come back on, like if you've purposely manually gone in there and turned them off, then that's your decision to do that. Why come back on again? Like, that's the annoying part. I get it, it's trying to be safe, but yeah, if you've manually done something, then it should stay like that until you turn the vehicle off and start again, or even stop the vehicle and start again, you know? But this is automatically turned back on for no reason. Anyway, let's go out now and do the performance test and see what it goes like.